Hey guys, Mah-Dry-Bread here, and I've actually got some really good news for you this time. So you guys might remember, I made a video, I think it was a little under a month ago, perhaps 20 days ago, about how I was getting these false ID claims by Audium, Tunecore, all these different places. I'm getting all these fake false ID claims, and how the especially bad one was by Tunecore and its owner Jeff Price, who Jeff Price himself started personally tweeting me on his Jeff Price Twitter, calling me a criminal, because he tried to claim a song in a video that is covered under fair use of parody and review, and he was openly calling me a criminal, and that whole thing has been resolved now, because you know how sometimes you don't get an email from YouTube just because their email system isn't that good? Like, you'll get a comment on a video that it doesn't send you an email for, perhaps someone replied to one of your comments and you just didn't get an email. YouTube sometimes does that with legal information emails, which is pretty bad. So today I looked in my copyright notice tab on YouTube to see what ones currently had claims that I was disputing and everything, because I still have about 7 more claims I need to get rid of after that huge wave came in. I've fought most of them. Every single one has been successful that they've responded to so far. They almost always ignore the first one, because the way it goes is, first you dispute the claim, and then they can reject it, and then you appeal the claim, which is where you have actual legal liability, and if they reject that, then you have a DMCA takedown notice, which is a strike on your account, and you have 3 strikes and you're gone. And then you can dispute it one last time where you're saying, you know, either you release the claim or try and sue me, like we'll take this to court. So what a lot of these companies do is they immediately reject your first dispute, because there's no repercussion on their end. So they immediately reject it and force you to do an appeal in which you have consequences if they reject your appeal. And then they'll sit on the appeal for so long before getting rid of it. So, like, there were some companies that ran to 30-day time limit. They instantly went to the appeal, and then they held on to my content for 30 days before releasing it, stealing all the money from it, and they never need to reimburse me. They just flat out stole my money. Well, Audium, more Tunecore is one of the worst ones for that. And a fun fact I found when I was researching this Jeff Price guy, the claims I get from him, it says Audium/Tunecore. Well, it turns out that they used to be, like, connected, and Jeff Price used to be a member of Audium, and a founding member of Audium, and he was kicked out of Audium for bad business practice, and then he made Tunecore. How shitty do you have to be kicked out of Audium, which has horrible problems for bad business practice, because they do some horrible business practice themselves. And by the way, if you ever get a claim from ad rev for a third party, that is almost always Audium, and the Orchard Music is connected to Audium and Tunecore. That whole thing, they're just scumbags. So that Jeff Price guy constantly calling me a criminal, you know what I find today? I go into my copyright notice section and find that the video, which was my 1,517 subscriber special part 2, is the one that he tried to claim. What they did, and I'll show you right here, because I screenshot the whole thing. You see, he released the claim on it, and then immediately put a new claim for the same thing on. He's abusing the system, and we'll go to screenshot 2. That's him once again rejecting dispute, so I had to appeal it, and then screenshot 3, where you can see after I appealed it, he released it and put the same claim on again. So of course I disputed it, he rejected it, I don't have a screenshot of that one because I forgot. And then he released it, and the reason I can't show you that release one, because it's only been released today, the only reason I can't show you the release is because there are no copyright strikes left, or no ID claims left on it, so that page doesn't exist unless another one crops up. But as you can see, despite him trying to hold on to my content, and successfully holding on to my content for over a month, through all the abuse of the system, he eventually gave up, because in the end, no matter what he called me on Twitter, no matter what happened, ultimately, he and their company were just hoping I didn't know my rights. And it turns out I knew my rights, and I fought for my rights, and I won. and I will never get reimbursed for the money I lost. They took the money and ran. Not like it was much money. Probably only got a few dollars out of it. But still, principle alone, you know? So anyways, I just wanted to let you know that if you truly are in the right, you can fight this stuff. That a lot of these companies will do this entirely just to squeeze every last dime out of you, and you can't let them do it. Because if you've read up on the law, on copyright law, you can fight these. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't have any justifiable ground to fight you on. Unless you're, like, uploading movies or TV shows or music, something like that, they have no right to your content like that. So keep it in mind. Go read up on it yourself. If you guys want to see the first video on this whole thing from back when it first happened, the link will be in the description. So it's a little bit of good news there. I'm still fighting quite a few claims, by the way, from Audium and The Orchard Music and third-party AdRev, who claim to own a lot of other songs that, in fact, some of them are royalty-free, that are in public domain. Because these companies are that scummy. So, remember, just fight them and know what you're doing. Until next time, have a nice day.
G'day, Jeff. ID claim this, you fuck.